Hey guys, what's going on? Luke here from Lucky Ass Gamer. Today I'm bringing you a deck profile. It's an Odd Eyes Magician deck profile. It's used in 3 copies of the Master of Pendulum structure deck. So this structure deck. 3 copies of that with 1 card that's not in the structure deck. So starting off, we're going to go with the extra deck. So we have 3 copies of Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon as our XYZ monster. It's 2 level 7 monsters. For a synchro, we have 3 copies of Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon, which is a tuner and 1 or more non-tuners. And for our fusion, we have 3 copies of Rune Eyes Pendulum Dragon. So some pretty nice extra deck cards here. It's a 9 card extra deck, so it's quite easy. For our monsters, we go with 3 copies of Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. You get the commons in the structure deck. I got a secret rare from the tin. Secret rare looks amazing. But 3 copies of Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. We're going to go ahead and just move this up here. 3 copies of Wisdom Eye Magician. Quite a nice little card here. 3 copies of Oath Dragon Magician. As this is an Odd Eyes Magician deck, lots of magicians and those Odd Eyes cards. 2 copies of Noble Dragon Magician. These are going to be the only tuners in the deck, so this is what we're going to be using for our synchro summons. So 2 Noble Dragons. I went with a copy of Time Gazer. Now these cards here, like the next one after this as well. So these 2, Time Gazer and Stargazer Magician. I basically put them in just because I couldn't think of what other cards to stick in from the thing, so I went with these 2. So they're basically, you can't activate Time Gazer if you have any monsters, but once it's on the field, if you have another magician, your opponent can't activate traps, and then Stargazer, your opponent can't activate spells during the battle phase until the end of the damage step. Then we've got 3 copies of Performer Power Skull Crobat Joker. Nice little card here, 1800 attack, and when you normal summon it, you can add a Performer Power monster, Magician, Pendulum monster, or Odd Eyes monster from your deck to the hand. We've got 3 Dragon Pulse Magicians as our level 1 Pendulum scales, and 3 Dragon Pit Magicians for our level 8 Pendulum scale. We've got 2 copies of Lila Lightsworn Sorceress. Nice little 4-star card there. We've got 1 copy of Chaos Hunter, which is basically just to help another card later on in the deck. And 1 copy of Nefarious Archfiend, Eater of Nefarianus. So that's our monsters done. Moving on to the spells, we've got 1 copy of Forbidden Dress. This is basically just to help if you have any monsters that you need to lower the attack of. Summoner's Art to help us get a level 5 or higher monster to our hand from our deck. Sacred Sword of 7 stars. You banish a level 7 monster from your hand or face up from your side of the field and draw 2 cards. Only 1 copy of that as this deck. There aren't many cards you want to banish. 1 copy of Mystical Space Typhoon. So it's basically standard staple card in most decks. 1 copy of Terraforming, and then 2 copies of Sky Iris. Terraforming Xerxes Sky Iris, and we have 2 field spells. And 2 Pendulum Calls, basically helps you set up your scales early on if you draw that. And last but not least, we have a copy of Regeki. This is the only card in the deck that isn't actually in the structure decks. Pick it up for about 10-15 quid. It's quite a good card. This one's a bit damaged. I do have a gold rare as well, but Regeki, it's a nice card. Then for traps, Trap Tricks, Trap Hole Nightmare. Mainly used against non-Pendulum decks, otherwise it's not really going to be useful. Pendulum Back. Eradicator Epidemic Virus, what we're using Chaos Hunter for. and then turn to tribute just to get rid of every monster on the field. But then that's good, because if you normal summon, use that, get rid of all your monsters. Say you had 5 Pendulum summon monsters and you destroy that, you destroy all your monsters, all your opponent's monsters, sorry, then you can Pendulum summon your monsters back and you've got a field clean of their monsters. So that's the deck profile done. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and leave a like, and that's pretty much it. Subscribe to the channel for more videos. Obviously we're uploading quite a lot of videos in the next few weeks. We have quite a lot coming up. But other than that, like, comment, subscribe, see what else we'll be doing more deck profiles in the future. Peace. Without